All right, folks, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, and we are doing the legendary connection. Let me change my background. Oh my God, I didn't change my background, Dre. I got my boy
Take
Doctor.
care of that.
I got my boy Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps on the line right now. We're doing a little different today, folks. We've had so many difficulties in the past trying to connect him visually, and so what we're doing now, we're just gonna do him audibly. Audibly, audibly through audio.
Audio.
Audio, okay,
Yeah,
and he got
which is fine.
we still gonna get his opinion.
Because it always looks the same to me.
See, I can't do that joke. I can't do that joke. Okay,
I can.
you can. I can't. Okay, all right. So I guess y'all even. He can't see y'all. You can't see him. So anyway, that's my joke. All right,
But I can feel you.
he can feel you. All right, folks, you live. That's Miss Bernadette. What's up, Bernadette?
Hey, how's it going?
That is Dre's trusty assistant. She's located in the Red Clay City of Mississippi, state of Mississippi, representing Dr. Dre, and he is here on audio. She is here on video, and we're going to start our conversation, folks. What's up with you, folks?
Let's do it.
Yes,
Hey, Miss B, how you doing, baby?
So much to talk about. So much to talk about. But I wonder what y'all gonna lead into with like I said, I put on Dr. Dre's audio. We're gonna have a slapping good time, knee slapping time, good time. So,
you know, your audio is a little bit low, Bernadette.
Let me see. I might need to
just a little bit.
Does this help?
Tell her to pull the string so the cup works better.
Yeah, pull that string so the cup will work a little bit better.
Let's see. Mississippi cups. Y'all funny. Y'all are funny. I can talk louder.
The kids don't know nothing about that right there.
Nope.
They don't know nothing about that right there.
Is this better?
That sounds a little bit better.
All right, shout.
Say something, baby.
All right. Can you hear me now better? Is this better?
Yeah, I think so. Let me make sure everything is good on my end. All right, we good, folks. We good. Hey man, you can't get away from it. I was looking at my Instagram page a second ago. My boy was saying, stop telling people to stop talking about Will and Chris. I almost agree with him to a certain degree because you can't get away from it. But the more you try to get away from it, the more it shows up in your face. I've gotten about 30 calls on this thing for my opinion, and I'm just Lonzo. And I know Dre got an opinion also. Dre, talk to me.
That's what I was just saying, because before we jumped on, I was just saying everybody got to tune in to hear what we got to say about it. But it's real simple, because the story's going to keep unfolding. It's not going to stop, because the basic thing between the two, there's a lot of heat that's been going on, not just in that day. That was the result of pent-up anxiety and anger and whatever you want to call it. But we want to be real clear. There's no place ever for violence, ever. If you got that much of beef, walk out. If that disrespect your wife, you feel like disrespecting about your wife, you got to pull them to the side, talk about it later. But they've had some stuff that's been simmering for a very long time, and it just blew up. And we're talking about the Oscars on Sunday, and pretty much that was so powerful that blew President Biden's statement about getting rid of Putin off the news. This is the hottest topic in news today. Everybody's talking, and it's constantly changing. There's one report saying that they asked him to leave, and he said no, he wasn't leaving. Then there's a report saying they never asked him to leave. Then there's a report saying they were speaking to his people behind the scenes, and they were debating whether he wanted to leave. Then the producer of the show, which was the first all-black produced show, Oscar show, first time, last time, said to Will, it's okay, sit here, and we'll talk about it after the show. Who knows who's telling the truth right now?
Wait. Slow down. Why would you say it would be the last time for the black producer? He didn't do nothing wrong, but he did a great job.
Because you know how it really works behind the scenes.
But that's some bullshit.
But see, we know that. See, we say that, but it's still their production, their show. And I'm not talking about Will, who did a great job. the other with Will Packard, and the great host from Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes, and Amy Schumer. I'm saying it's all about perception. And the proof of that is, let's go back to the Super Bowl with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
The incident happened. Who got all the blame?
Janet?
Who suffered the most?
Janet?
And who walked around dancing, still selling records, talking all that? I don't know what you're about. I don't know what you're about. Now, once did he stand up and say?
They didn't fire the producer of the Super Bowl show, though.
Excuse me?
They didn't fire the producer of the Super Bowl show behind Janet.
No,
popping out.
but she's no longer doing shows of that magnitude. She can't walk on that stage like that. Believe me, she's ostracized. It's done. They're not going to do it.
You know what though?
Remember what we think of. The last thing we think of Michael Jackson. Do we think of Michael Jackson from Thriller, or do we think of Michael Jackson child molester? We think of,
you know what?
And it's messed up. It's all about perception. I think Will should get a shot, but it's going to be so many restrictions.
What Will we talking about? Smith or Packard?
Will Packard. Will
Packard. If they try to hold Will Packard responsible for Will Smith's actions, that's the dumbest shit in captivity.
But it's not holding him responsible. I was watching today on 2 different news programs.
Okay.
The amount of phone calls that came in because of this incident, the Academy doesn't know what to do.
Okay.
They're thinking of sanctioning them with fines. Ooh. And when it comes down to the money, because remember when the Janet thing happened, people flipped out, but more people were like, did that really happen? But then people started slowing it down, looking like, whoa! And it was the FCC that hit CBS with fines.
Okay.
And that's where Janet, they went after Janet personally, and she had to pay fines.
Okay.
That's in her documentary.
Okay. That's all fine and dandy, but how did that affect the producers of the Super Bowl? If Will Packard is going to suffer, I don't see Will Packard I don't see Will Packard suffering. In fact, I see him getting more jobs because the Super.
He'll get more jobs, but he won't produce an Oscar show anymore. They're gonna watch how they make it so rigid coming up.
I don't know.
Watch.
I don't know. We get to see. That would meant. I mean, here we are in super cancel culture. Donald Trump can do all kind of stuff. Every Republican do whatever they want to. And they ain't got canceled yet. Somebody else do something at your barbecue, and your house get evicted. Your house get foreclosed on. That don't make no sense.
But why do you think I keep saying to everybody, if you don't vote this November, if you don't vote these people out, this is the consequences of actions. Now, it will happen.
Now y'all see how
they will be in control, and
y'all
see how can't do that.
Y'all see how we just segued, took some entertainment and mixed it with politics because it's almost the same thing. Okay?
It's all the same. It doesn't change.
That's why I fuck with
Drake. It doesn't change. Okay? It's the same thing. And if you don't think so, believe me when I'm saying, they were like, wow, look at all these black folks in the audience. Look at all these successful actors. And if you think they won't go back to Lily White, all right. Matter of fact, what you'll see is a lot of international folks sitting in their seats all of a sudden. You're like, wait a minute, what about these movies? No, we want to nominate them, but we can't bring because anything can happen. Believe me, Will Smith represented the safe Negro. Read his book, which I know you did a lot. I read his book. Understand where that comes from. He's had a lot of pent up anger and resentment for the way he's been treated since he did Girls of the World Ain't Nothing But Trouble. Because people looked at him as though he was
Greg, you gotta go further back to that too.
Now
go further back to that.
That just wasn't right.
Wait.
But that was perception.
Hold on.
Not true.
Wait. His perception of himself was a coward. Is a coward.
Right.
Okay.
Go back further.
He's a coward for what
9
reason?
years old.
No.
We're talking about the entertainment first.
Wait.
Not why he was a coward.
Wait. I'm the first chapter in his book says, I always saw myself as being a coward. First chapter.
Why?
Okay, because his
Why?
daddy used to beat his mama. He
Right.
didn't do shit.
There you go. But that had nothing to do with what he did on the microphone. That's what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
I understand that. But again,
So
hold on.
So in
Yeah,
that, in that,
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me say something for a minute. At reading, I listened to all 16 hours of that book. I just finished it Saturday. I almost know it like the back of my hand. What I do know for a fact is that Jada got a special place in her heart for Tupac that Will knows he'll never be able to touch. Okay.
true.
And one of his kids even wrote him a letter saying that he wished Tupac, they wish Tupac was their daddy. Okay. That's some cold shit for a man to have to swallow. Okay. Now you got, hold on.
He's holding all of that.
You got multi-millions records sold, mega movies. You had 8 #1s back to back, the longest success string of movies than anybody, but you still can't get this spot at your girl's heart for a man that she met when she was a teenager. Now, hold on, let me finish. Okay.
Go ahead.
Last but not least, if she was Tupac's girl, Chris Rock wouldn't have said that. Okay. Chris Rock wouldn't have said that. If Tupac was sitting in that chair, he wouldn't have said that. Okay. Now, Will has a lot to prove to himself, not to everybody else. And one of the stories in the book that really made me trip was he talked about her 40th birthday party. How he went out.
I was about to go to that.
Right.
Go ahead.
He bought all. He did a documentary on her life. Had people fly in. He flew to different places. Had teachers and all kind of people that was a part of her life come to her birthday party, and
she had Mary J. Blige
singing all kinds of shit. Okay.
He did this incredible video.
Right.
And he and his son, they went out. I mean, he put all effort. She walked through this whole cathedral of pictures of her, and when she got there, everybody was there cheering for her, and she sat there, and her face was sour. And then Brad, you tell us the story.
And she was like, they got home, babe, what's wrong? That was the biggest ego stroke of you for I've seen in all my life. He's like, what do you mean? She said, that wasn't for me, that was for you. And I say the same thing about this slap. That slap wasn't for her. That slap was for him because he been called a punk so long. He been called a buster so long. She done talked about the sex game on the red table talk, whatever it is. She didn't even in the world know about it. He didn't cry on the red table talk. I wouldn't be nowhere near nothing red in life again if my woman clowned me like that. Okay, but now he laughs initially at the response. Then after looking at her face, he decides to get up and slap the dude. Okay, now before you go there, anybody from the streets know the first thing you do before you knock a nigga out or try to chest tie, put hands on somebody, you warn him, hey, bro, back up. All he had to do from where he was sitting at when he was screaming after the slap was go, hey, man, not tonight, baby, not tonight, please, not tonight. Chris Rock got one or two choices: either leave this woman alone, or keep on going and see what's gonna happen. Okay. He didn't get that opportunity to make that decision. He said something that Jada reacted to. She reacted to. Now the next problem is
to it very visually in her face.
Right. She put the battery in the bunny.
She put one of them big
ass batteries on. Okay.
Back.
Now
making sure I wasn't gonna die hard.
Here's the next problem. Only Will knows how that her hair loss affects her. Okay. Fucking Chris Rock ain't home with her. We ain't home with her. You don't know how, because women that hair, man, sisters got wigs and all kinds of hair. Okay. Very personal. Okay. Now the next thing is that crossed my mind. What if it wasn't alopecia? What if it's something more serious? And because they Hollywood people, they're trying to keep that shit close to the vest.
That's true.
Okay. What if she's under some kind of treatment, like what you call them?
Cancer treatment.
They call it
anything. It could be anything.
They plan
and it's a
Right.
It's an effect of or what they call a
Right. Yeah. It's the treatment. Now
Chemotherapy.
it's a what do you call it from the treatment?
now one of my
It's
boys
Chemotherapy.
said
it calls an
something.
effect of the treatment.
One of my boys said something that made a lot of sense. He said it was one of them burn or die situations. Okay. Either you do something or fuck you for life. Okay. Either you do something right now, because he's been trying to get back in her good graces for a while. Even in the book, when she was going to retire from acting, she bought her a house, bought her a little ranch out in Maryland, a little small ranch, maybe 5-6 acres. And when he decides to buy her a ranch, it's 250 acres. He's like, I don't need all this shit, right? It's too goddamn much property. So I don't need the Ponderosa. Just give me something small. Now, the last but not least, Bernadette, cover your ears. Bernadette covers your ears.
Earmuffs, no, earmuffs. Just tell me earmuffs.
In my life, okay, I have met women who just wanted a thug motherfucker. Okay. Lonzo was too nice for them. Okay. I had a woman told me in front of a witness, I can get him on the phone right now, do a 3-way, and told me, you don't love me because you ain't never hit me. You don't love me because you ain't never hit me. Okay. Now, some women, I don't care how many diamonds you buy, how many Ferraris, how big the house is. You got to let your nuts hang. Bitch, shut up. Okay. Every once in a while. Okay. And for some reason, a woman told me that today. She says a guy she was dating, she liked the guy, but somebody else was trying to hit on her. And the guy pulled the gun on the guy that was trying to hit on her, and she fell in love with him, and she married his ass. Okay. It's something about that illusion of a thug, the illusion of super protectiveness. Now, this nigga crazy on both sides. Okay.
Well, it's called the alpha male. It's called the alpha male.
He pulled the gun on her later on, too, though.
Yeah.
It was solid then. That type is solid then.
But I'm just saying, because he did that in her defense. Well, he wasn't trying to defend. He was trying to get the nigga off. Nigga wasn't trying to assault her. He was just trying to, push up on her. And homeboy drew it out on him. Oh my God, you pulled a gun on him for me. And next thing you know, they get married. So I've had women tell me, I just like a thug, man, because he makes me feel comfortable. Make me feel safe. That's what the word safe.
No,
well, you keep him
my crazy.
You get hit, how safe you gonna be?
They're keeping that
becomes our mentality, and that mentality comes from slavery. It really does. It comes from being enslaved and being a part of the master's house. And when the master comes in, what happens after the master rapes the woman? Who comes in to comfort her? Who may act like the person that may do something to stand up to the master? And what does the master do? They hang, tar and feather, and castrate that Negro to put all the other niggas in line. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's very true.
Let me tap back on the will thing and stick in that pocket for a second, based on what you're saying with the book. And I'm encouraging people, don't just listen to us about the book. Go buy the book. Read the book. Don't read that somebody told you, I heard a part, or read a piece of a chapter. Will is very, very, very explicit in the book about what's going on, especially with him and Jada, and after that party that you described. But remember, when he went to go buy the ranch, he was obsessed with the TV show Dallas, right. And he wanted to have something like South Fork. That was even before he knew Jada. That was his obsession. Okay. That's what he wanted to do.
Right.
So when he bought that, she told him, I don't want that. But he was like, I wanted a place that the family can have this. You can have her lake. You can have this, that, and the other. But what he didn't realize, he wasn't listening to Jada. He was being, I'm now Big Willie. And I got all this, and I got all that. I'm going to make sure I shower you with everything you imagined you wanted. And all he had to really buy her was a red table. You didn't know that.
All he had to do was slap on the ass a couple times and pull her hair, and she'd have been all right.
All he had to do was buy
Look
a
at Bernadette
red
blushing
table.
over there.
There you go. And that's the truth. But
Sometimes you got to slap them on their ass and pull their hair. Huh?
Look.
One time in
I
college.
come across, and you notice, Alonzo, as I don't act a certain way in public. I don't do certain things. For women, I was raised a certain way. But if you push my button, I'm going to react. I will do that. Because even Will's mother, when she came out to speak about this, said she's never, ever seen him do this. But when you read the book, you can see all the steps that led to this thing with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Easy.
This thing with Chris Rock wasn't Sunday night.
Hey, Dre.
This thing had been brewing
Dre.
for a
Can y'all hear
long time.
Dre.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Wait. What if it was a stunt to sell more books?
No,
I got a
the
theory on that.
the book is the best
More
seller
books.
off the chain. It already was.
Okay, but still.
And remember,
Chris
remember,
Rock's
Will,
things too.
you said Will did so had 8 top 10, and we had 10 in a row.
Okay.
He ran them down.
But wait.
10, boom.
Wait. Think about this for a second, man. Both these brothers, because I'm willing to bet you. We already know Chris Rock's fee went up. Okay, ticket sales went up. Now he may not get more money for the shows already booked, but his booking fee will definitely go up as time progresses. When he gets time to write some new material.
He's filming this because remember he got $50 million from Netflix, so he's just fulfilling his contract.
Okay, but he's on tour too. He's on tour now. I saw him.
He's getting a check from there.
Chris Rock,
but he also had 50 million in his pocket.
Okay,
from Netflix.
Okay, so now we are gonna sell some more books, downloads, whatever the case may be. Rock tickets gonna go up. Okay, we can't wait to hear what he got to say about the shit. Okay, and
he's being real smart
in this comedy special.
He's not telling anybody anything yet. He said, "I'm putting it together," and people like, "But I got to go to every show because he's gonna blurt it out.
He's
I'm gonna
gonna
be the
say
first
so.
one,
okay,
to know."
So,
and he's if he has the right management, which I know his management, he's not gonna let this go till everything's in the can, and then he's gonna do a big show where we're not gonna expect it, and he's gonna blurt it out, everything,
and all he got to do
it's gonna be on the special. So when Netflix goes to play that comedy special, everybody around the world is going to want to watch that special. He's going to make a fortune.
He might. So here we are. We got two. Here we are again, man. Think about this. Anytime you see this kind of stuff right here, and you got everybody. Man, dude, everybody's man. When I didn't get this many questions about the goddamn Super Bowl. After Dre stood on Eve After Dark in the Super Bowl, I ain't get this many damn questions. Let me tell you what happened. They told me on Channel 4. They told me, I talked to Channel 4 on Monday. They told me Tuesday, this is going to be old news. This is goddamn Thursday, and this shit is still a hot topic. Okay?
It's not going away for months. Believe me when I say it's not, because there's too much money involved. That's what people don't realize. What Will makes, you can't, even if the Academy says you're banned, that's not stopping them from making movies.
Right. You can't compare.
He can go overseas and make movies all day long. He's an international box office superstar. Let's get that straight. He's not, he's a good movie maker. He's a box office superstar. Because he set it up. He explains it in the book, how he did that. He explains and why.
He broke it down.
Will Smith's career is based on his fear of life and how he was raised and his father. Even at the end of the book, and I don't want to give it away, please read the book. It's a journey like...
Negro, you didn't read the book. You had to get the audio book. Come on.
I did read the book. I read it cover to cover.
How?
I know you're mad because I did it with the audio, but that's on you.
That's what I do.
It's the same book.
I did the audio book. You can't say read. Say listen to the book. Buy the book.
Dre, tell them all.
Whatever people want to do, however they want to experience it. And thank you, Lonzo. I appreciate that.
No,
here's my point.
Wait. Let me say this right here. I ain't get a dime from the brother. I ain't get a dime from Will Smith, but the book was well produced. Okay, It had a little music in there, some sound effects, all kind of shit, and the shit was kind of funny. Okay,
but it was yes, he had the one of the funny highlights is when they were in Mozambique filming Ali, and one of the PAs. They said he pissed on the toilet seat,
and they made it.
And the South African white people who were working on the set put the dude's head in the toilet.
Right.
And Charlie Mack said, "What I want you to do right now is what do I need to do for you to put my head in the toilet?" And they walked up and they pressed on dude, and dude said, "You Americans." And see, you know what? I learned something from that, real deep about racism, apartheid, and what we deal with here in this country. That's why I stress voting and don't give up. Even though there's going to be a lot of BS to vote, we have to vote our people in. If you don't do it, don't complain, don't argue. We don't need no marches, no up and down, no Black Lives Matter.
I ain't walking nowhere.
That's not what we need to do. We need to get people registered, and you need to make sure they vote, and you need to make sure their vote counts. That's what needs to be done. So every state, come this November, you know the Republicans are coming hard.
Look,
get your S together. But let me finish
go ahead.
After the book with Charlie Mack.
Go ahead.
Because that was one of the funniest
that shit was
parts
hilarious.
of the book. Charlie Mack, he said to everybody, "Tell me what I need to do for you to put my head in a toilet." And I know Charlie, and Will was imitating him, and it was hysterical. But dealing with Will, one-to-one, and I know the man, I've been blessed. I was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, one-to-one. It is out of his character, but a therapist will tell you, a person can only take but so much before they pop. And that's both ways.
Right.
Both ways. And what Chris said on the stage, it wasn't bad. It was like, oh, he honestly made more of a G.I. Jane joke. Whatever you want to say.
It wasn't a bad joke.
The problem was he said it. Now, if Adam Sandler was there and he said it, Will and Jada would have laughed it off.
Right.
Because they have a history of issues with Chris that have not been solved.
Chris clowned, in 2016, he clowned Jada because her and Will organized some type of a boycott of the Oscars. And Chris said
because there wasn't diversity and representation,
right? He said
in the show, and then they asked him to step down and not host the Oscars. How do you do that to somebody who's got a career and everything comes to this moment and say, "Don't do it because Black Lives Matter"? I get it, I see, but it's both sides. They both are right, but you have to learn to respect each other's decision. So if he didn't want to support boycotting the Oscars, don't be angry at the man. Just say that was his decision. But I just want to go into one thing that we haven't touched on and let people understand something about Will Smith. And when he was reading off his accolades, and he said, "I'm not bragging. I'm just letting y'all know what the truth is." That man has sold more records than the other Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and Hammer rolled into one.
Yeah.
More records sold and still selling.
Yeah.
He's one of the most biggest guaranteed box office superstars in our time. In our time, he's made that many hit movies back to back to back to back to back. So if Chris Rock wants to be mad and criticize Will Smith's film career, he couldn't throw his change purse at Will Smith. Will Smith will just say, here's a roll of quarters. You can't mess with my film career. Well, you made some cool movies, Chris, but you didn't make Ali. You didn't make Enemy of the State. You didn't make 3 Men in Black movies that have almost made over $1 billion.
No, damn sure didn't.
You didn't make Independence Day. You haven't employed the amount of people you've employed like I do. So in perspective,
also,
sometimes
he had some
we lose focus on what happened.
that
The
he
biggest thing that went wrong
wants to
Sunday,
take care of
Will,
his women.
who is a
From a
trained boxer,
childhood, he was going to do this.
put his
That
hands on
his buildup
somebody,
from
which he
childhood
never
is a
should have done.
lot.
And I gotta say, big shout out and big ups to Denzel Washington and to Tyler Perry, who grabbed Will and tried to talk him down. And Will gave him, Denzel is props on what he said to him. Who knows if Denzel said it to him or not?
Just sit your
But-
crazy ass down, nigga. Get you out your mind.
Yeah. But we need to say this is I mean this. We need to find forgiveness for Will, not for him striking Chris, but for what he's going through right now and how he got there. Because he's got to start to find a place of healing. Because the man is obviously in pain, a lot of pain, and a lot of pressure.
Well, look. Let me holler for a minute. It
You
seems
got it.
it seems to me that his pain and pleasure is coming from the same source. Okay, you got your woman who admits to the world of sleeping with your son's friend on Oprah talking about your sex game is weak. You crying on the red table, professing your love to your woman. God knows how many other people that she done slept with that you don't know about. Allegedly, they supposed to be swingers. Allegedly, they supposed to have a little thing going on. Okay, you do you, you do you. I do me. In fact, and last but not least, Chris Rock didn't write the goddamn story. I mean, didn't write the damn joke. He just read off a teleprompter. Rumor has it Amy Schumer wrote the joke. Now, here goes something. Here goes another reference.
But that's what I see. What you just said makes my point. If Amy Schumer said that, Will wouldn't have gotten up, and Jada wouldn't have said anything. She wouldn't have rolled her eyes.
Right.
Because when Regina Hall asked Jada to sleep with Will in the beginning of the show, Jada wasn't mad.
Right.
Will laughed. It goes because it's the beef between Will, Jada, and
He
Chris.
wished he had grown up
What it
braver.
was.
Like
If
you
Chris
said,
was still there,
chapter one, he
Chris
was
Love
a
made
coward.
that. No one would have did anything.
Now,
It had nothing to do with her alopecia. It had nothing to do with the joke. It was the beef that they both have, well, all three of them have.
now I dig this right here.
It's just where it is.
Let me see
That's
this.
my observation.
Let me say this right here. Along with the fact that she cut her hair, like Demi Moore, she ended up sleeping with a younger guy. And her husband, like Demi Moore, was a superstar. Okay? Now, these are just some ironic facts that may have cut a little deeper than people realize. Demi Moore left Bruce Willis to marry Ashton Kutcher. Okay? We all know that Jada slept with her son's friend, and Will is a mega superstar. Okay? Will went to Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, and Arnold Schwarzenegger to get advice. Okay? And he passed all of
And
them
Arnold
up.
Schwarzenegger told Will how to become an international superstar.
Yes, sir.
Because Arnold Schwarzenegger told him, "You're a TV star. Has nothing to do with you. You did nothing here. You got to be international." And I give credit to Will. This is what I'm saying. Will's life has been the stress of wanting to be this thing to justify, as you would say, his cowardice to what his father did to his mother. Because he said, and he says it in the book, I never wanted that to happen to my family. But then when you find it, he says, remember he says, I did all these things, and the one thing I forgot is everybody's got feelings.
Right.
Because he dismissed it. He's like, that's why he jumped on that stage. Because he was using her feelings and protecting her, and that was all he could see. Because he dropped out the whole disciplinary action of what he was.
Miami.
He was trying to restore his testosterone-driven alpha male ego to let the world know I'm no punk. And he's not a punk.
Dre had made me realize
Believe
that
me,
Will is a
if
boxer,
you could
well,
say,
trained
listen here,
boxer.
you take my life,
So
here's the
that makes me
keys,
wonder
you
too.
become me.
Period.
Most of us will go do it.
Oh,
That's the kind of money and power and prestige and world renowned fame he has. He was hanging with Nelson Mandela and then spurned Nelson Mandela when Mandela said, I need to spend time with you. Come on over here. And that's his biggest regret.
Right.
It's in the book.
But again, it's one thing about people like that, man. Think about this for a minute. This dude is he's a perfect temptation song. I can move the what he said. I can make the rain. I can move the rain whenever I wanted to. I can move a single castle with a single grain of sand, but I can't get next to you.
You mean I can't get next to you?
I can't get next to
can turn the
you.
gray sky blue.
wow.
I can make it rain
whenever I wanted to.
Oh,
Oh, I can build a castle from a single grain of sand. I can make the ship sail on dry land. But
land.
you can't get next to your woman. The woman got a
Yeah.
slot in her heart for a brother that you could never replace. All the money, all the movies, all the music, you can't replace that. And and we all agree that if Tupac was sitting next to Jada at that
Why
thing,
do men
Tupac would have looked at Will
stick
Smith.
with
I mean,
the one that
Chris
they
Rock,
cannot
and that shit
truly
wouldn't have
have?
happened. Okay.
Listen,
Well, first of all, Chris
endless
Rock
time
wouldn't have said
tales. That's
anything.
why the
He
Temptations
wouldn't.
was singing about it.
No.
Agreed.
He would have said,
Why
I'm not
is
doing that,
that?
Joe.
I'm not fucking with that.
Because the threat of what Tupac would do and the people Tupac hangs out with. They
Right.
told Chris, not my joke. But Chris, again, he was doing his job as a presenter
He was
into
reading
Oscars.
maybe he was set up. Maybe he was set
That's
up.
something too. But I
'Cause
think
if you
no
don't-
one understood the depth of the beef between them. That's what it really is.
Most men, most hosts do not write their scripts. They read them from a teleprompter.
Not for those shows. Those shows are written.
He is not ad-libbing up there. Okay. He's getting paid for his delivery and style. The joke was funny. It wasn't funny to everybody because you got to be damn near 60 years old to get the fucker. Okay. You got to be damn
First
near.
of all, most of the people watching the show
He-
don't remember G.I. Jane.
Don't remember G.I. Jane. Okay.
So they didn't get it as that kind of a joke.
Exactly.
But-
It wasn't going to make
But
people
remember,
curl
4
over.
days before the Oscars, Jada was on, I forgot what interview she did, or TikTok, and she was saying she didn't care. This is my hair. I did what I wanted to. I'm comfortable now with my head, blah, blah, blah. And she basically said, it's okay. Now, if I'm a writer and a producer for the Oscars, and I saw that, and I said, oh, she's not going to be mad at this joke. Whoever's coming up through the film, here's the joke to read.
Hey.
But then when you did what she did, you knew that was going to set him off. But what she probably wanted to do was when he stepped up, she thought somebody was going to step in front of him and stop him, not Will
Who the
Smith.
hell gonna stop
'Cause
6'2", 200-something pound Will Smith? And first
No,
of
don't
all,
look at it like that.
wait.
They
First
think
of
of it
all,
like
why would
when
you
he
think you would
approached the
need?
stage,
Why would you think you would
somebody-
need to stop Will Smith?
because everyone thought Will is the safe dude. That's
Right.
what he talks about in his book.
Why would you think? That's what I'm saying. Why would you think you would need to stop Will Smith? If anything, you thought he'd go hug him. Man, you play too much. Just slap the shit out of him, the whole world. And mama go, Will, shit. His mama like,
But remember
goddamn.
this. Here's also something that would have turned that around too. If they would have announced the best actor and he would have won first, he'd have never walked on that stage.
Right.
Because he didn't know in his mind if he was going to win best actor or not. Think about it.
Right.
That's why now what you're saying, you're making me go, was that a big setup to
Hey,
get Will to act? I'm starting to believe you. Like maybe
It was. Yes.
Bro, let's
I
also-
believe
let's
it's
put this
set up.
out.
Yes.
He still had no right to hit anybody.
hey, check this out. You seen men kiss men. You seen men that was gay for pay for enough money So Chris Rock would take a slap to the chin because his concert is gonna be through the roof. Will Smith gonna go through the roof too. He gonna get some shit, but they ain't gonna cancel. Will Smith is just as Teflon as Donald Trump and a few other people. He ain't going. He made too many people too much money. Okay,
he's too valuable to the movie industry for them to say you're banned, no more movies for you.
Over a slap? Oh hell no.
No, he's and the thing is, he didn't have to be in front of the camera. Remember when they were talking about the Karate Kid, and we did that with Jaden?
Right.
They made $400 million. I mean, initial box office, and it was produced by his company.
Right.
So that just proved Will got the golden touch. Yeah. Now he may have to relax back. He's in Suicide Squad 2.
Wait. He just learned. He just lent that golden touch to Chris Brown across his left chin. Okay.
Oh, you mean Chris Rock?
Chris Rock.
No, I think it's going to be different.
He just look. Whatever Chris was getting, he just doubled or tripled it. Okay. Whatever he was getting on his book is, and I'm not saying he was cheap in the first place, but he just got it was worth the slapping for him financially. Okay, he ain't lose no teeth. He got embarrassed, but it was worth the slapping. Okay.
The only thing I regret with that is Chris has 2 daughters too, and from now to the end of time,
they're gonna hate Chris Rock. They're gonna hate Will Smith for that.
The Smith Rock rivalry has just begun. It's almost equivalent to Bloods and Crips.
Well, you know what though? Dig this right here.
Damn.
Dig this right here. Unfortunately, in our culture, especially our black culture, beefs make more money than preachers do.
Yes.
Think about this for a second.
No, it doesn't. But beef is in politics too.
Beef makes big money. Okay.
Because what I just tell you earlier, Biden said, for God's sake, we need to remove this guy. And everybody lost it. Why did we didn't mean regime change, and his staff went crazy. Will Smith gets up and slaps Chris Rock. That statement like it didn't exist. It went away. And then Biden, still not trying to be punked by anybody, came out 2 days later and said, I'm not taking that back. I meant what I said. And people are like, yo, Biden is kind of, wait a minute. We thought Biden was a little soft. Biden he got a pan.
He said take out Putin?
Yeah, he said he did that whole tour in Poland, in the borderline NATO nations. Mm-hmm. He sat with the refugees, and he was with them kids. He was crying. He was with them women. He was upset. He gave a speech. Everybody was like, this incredible speech. Then he added at the end, he said, this man has to be removed for God's sake. Mm. And he said that was good to say to the Russian people because Putin's blacked out all communication. Yeah. So nobody knows what's going on. But they, see things on the internet. And they were like, oh, he didn't mean that. And they tried to, walk it back. He said, no, I said that. I meant that. And now people are like, wait a minute, Biden is the man. Biden is all right. Mm. So it's a politics. Same thing with Will right now. He's in entertainment politics like no other. They're going to hit him with a big one. But they're not going to take the statue away because it had nothing to do with what he did.
Nothing, not right.
They're not going to say, you can't make any more movies. They're going to say, well, you can't come back to the Oscars for 5 to 10 years.
You can't be on the Oscars. You can't be on the front row no more, goddamn it. I want y'all to boycott the Oscars again, goddamn it.
So you can't come on here, and if you do, you must bring security, or we'll sit you in a place where security is. You might be able to present from the back and come up. We can't have you set a stage anymore. You're done. You finished yourself.
Now, the funny one would be if Chris Rock came back to the Oscars next year wearing a helmet. That shit would be funny to motherfucker.
Yeah, the funny thing is if he came back to the Oscars and hosted it, wow.
Came back wearing a helmet, okay? Or had a gun on. Nigga, try that shit again.
Yeah, or had a football helmet on, so
Yeah,
he had a face mask. Yeah,
yeah.
that's funny.
Try that shit again, okay? I'm ready for your ass this year, Chris. Will. Now, that's some funny shit. But Jim Carrey, I've always liked Jim. Jim get a little weird. Jim was saying that they shouldn't have gave Will his standing ovation. They shouldn't have did nothing.
That's where everybody see, but that goes to show you who was in the room. You're in a room full of actors. What do you think they were gonna do? And the winner is Will Smith. He stood up.
Yeah.
They gave him his props. Those props were for all the years he didn't get the statue.
Okay. I take that.
That's what those props were for. And everybody was still kind of confused because what Amy Schumer said, when they walked back out there in the room, it's like the room was thick with tension.
Right. What did I do?
And if you were watching the Oscars, whether you were watching it live or you were watching it on thing, it's like the whole Oscars total. The Oscars became the BET Awards. In seconds.
Right. Now, see, that's that hip hop shit. Okay. That's that hip hop shit.
But that's what it became.
It went, and see, I don't see no other actor doing no shit like that. They may get into squabbles at the after party, but I don't see nobody having that kind of ball.
Not on a live broadcast around the world where 3 billion people.
So in a way, we can blame hip hop.
My partner Turkey called me up. He said, "Did you just see what happened?" I said, "No."
No,
the screen went black.
What happened?
The screen went black.
Okay.
They have a delay. They have a live delay.
Now that was something else. Now we on the West Coast, we saw it. Everybody saw it on the West Coast.
No, but you didn't see when he was screaming and hollering.
No, we didn't
that
see
was blacked out.
That was blacked out. That was blacked out.
The slap everybody saw because nobody knew that was what happened. But when I was watching it, the moment he slapped him, the TV went black. Like they went to delay. And I kept hitting the volume going, what the hell? That's called the Janet Jackson 5-second rule.
Right.
We are not going to show no titty again.
Right.
We're not going to let y'all pull that off.
This is not HBO. You cannot see titties and cuss on these channels right here.
Not going to have it.
Man,
do we have any people in the chat room that want to say something?
I
know
we got a bunch of them in the chat room. Chat room is fired up.
Let's go to the chat room.
I'm hanging out in the chat.
Go to the chat room.
Bernadette in the chat room. Miami says Will Smith made too much money for too many people. He won't get canceled. He might get banned from the Oscars for a couple of years. Okay. Jim, my man Rob Trimble says Jim Carrey go around burning bitches. Willie Moe, imagine if Celebrity Smith would have been imagine how celebrated Will Smith would have been if he had not done that. Hey, point.
That's it.
Bernadette, so in a way we could blame hip hop. Not really, but
I'm joking.
Hip hop had nothing to do with it.
Well, no.
Hip hop had nothing to do with it.
Wait, hold on. I beg to disagree a little bit.
I
beg to disagree. Because Will has been feeling dejected since his early days of hip hop. Again, going back to the book, he was kind of like, "Damn, all this shit I'm doing, and everybody's still talking about I'm soft." Because you came up with Public Enemy and N.W.A. Yeah, you was a little soft, but
see, you know what?
Hold on. But he stuck.
You go ahead. Let me jump in after you. Go ahead.
He stuck to his guns, unlike Hammer. Okay, Hammer at some point in time started to try to do the humps and the bumps, and he go from prey to humps and the bumps and to bankruptcy. Yeah. Okay, you don't get to go from prey, can't touch this, humps and the bump. You go to bankruptcy. Okay, and that's what made that Will kept he stuck to his own agenda.
Well, let me go through that simply.
Come on.
Because one thing I can say, I was there.
Okay.
And I know what it was and why Will became the darling of MTV. Because MTV was always on edge of playing rap music. Right. It just was. I mean, people don't remember that Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 were on MTV with The Message.
Okay.
The biggest rappers that were on MTV at this beginning time were the Fat Boys. They were the super darlings of MTV.
Safest cats in the world.
Because hip hop and because rap music didn't say, oh, they wasn't this, they wasn't street, they wasn't this, they wasn't that. They made more money, sold more records, and were the face globally of rap music on hip hop at one point. The Fat Boys.
Right.
That's the truth. Run DMC came behind them, and they brought that new Beats to the Rhyme, Sucker MCs, Rock Box, King of Rock, big attitude for rap music.
There he is.
And it's scared.
So by the
folks.
time
There he is.
It's scared
Excuse me?
not. It's scared in
no, it scared them at first, but their messaging in the music was always positive. So they couldn't ban them because they would say, oh, look at these guys with the hats and they're angry. But then you start listening to the words, you're like, no. So by the time they did Walk This Way, they were universally accepted. Now, let's go to Will Smith. After Girls of the World Ain't Nothing But Trouble, they go in the studio and they bust their ass and they do the album. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper. This song was done and they said, this one's got legs. It was the video that made that record go through the roof.
Okay.
It just, because remember that record came out and it was dying. Then the video came out and MTV said, look at this clean-cut guy. Here's who we need. Then you still had Public Enemy coming with Fight the Power. Then you had N.W.A. coming with Express Yourself and Straight Outta Compton. And here's Will dominating the world with Parents Just Don't Understand. P.E., N.W.A., I don't care who else you want to throw, couldn't hold a candle to Will at that moment.
They couldn't hold a candle to Will or Hammer at that time. But
no, Hammer comes after that. Remember,
okay, but
Hammer comes after.
Okay, true.
And Hammer, and the reason Hammer did so well, and I hate to say it this way.
Will paved the way.
No.
What?
Vanilla Ice.
Oh, fuck, you're right. My bad.
Vanilla Ice
My bad.
made Hammer do what he did. Not that Hammer wasn't popular, because remember his first album was Hammer Don't Hurt Him.
Right.
That did well. But when he did Can't Touch This, that Super Freak by Rick James.
Right.
So MTV wanted to stick it to Rick James. He did Pray. He did everything right. But then here comes Vanilla Ice doing the same thing Hammer's doing with the dance and this, but he's white. And MTV went crazy for him. You put that together, Hammer sells 1 million more records than Vanilla Ice. That's what that was about. But then the Keep It Real movement started. You got Third Base. You got all the other rappers coming out their face. Tim Dog saying, fuck Compton. You got this, you got that. And everybody's like, yo, what's going on? But if you go way back in history and you deal with UTFO and Roxanne Shante.
Beef been...
Wow.
Beef was what, that's when it's really started becoming something else. So remember, you got Big Daddy Kane, big records. Nobody was angry at Biz Markie for doing Just a Friend.
Nope.
Because his roots was in Make the Music with Your Mouth, Biz.
Nobody got mad.
Beats the Biz.
Nobody got mad with him when he made Picking Boogers.
Yes, but Will, he represented that this is the black rapper we want. But we gotta have a Public Enemy because that keeps us on edge. We gotta have N.W.A. because they're saying the stuff that heavy metal cats would say, but they're saying it as rappers, so that's okay. And then remember, you get Ice-T coming out with Cop Killer.
Cop Killer, right.
So it's like, see, all those things feed each other. So here comes Will. And he's like, what the fuck? I did this and y'all hate me. But his audience really was neutral, white folks watching the MTV rappers.
They felt comfortable with Will Smith.
Yeah, but Will had gangster records on his album. He talks about that. They did. Because when he went to perform, People could do every one of his songs, and his audience and crowd were mixed. It wasn't all black, and it wasn't all white. It was mixed. So he decided to put the mic down because the Fresh Prince wasn't black enough. But when he picked up the mic and did Big Willie style,
yeah,
and he did,
Summertime.
Summertime was the biggest record that DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince did. It was universally accepted by everybody. Yep. Nobody complained about Summertime.
Getting jiggy with it.
And it blew up so big. He said he won a Grammy and sold more records than he ever sold at that moment. So when he decided to come back, he did get jiggy with it because he was doing movies and he was doing them soundtracks. And his boy said, "You need to do the soundtrack, the song for this movie."
Men in Black.
And when he went to Barry Sonnenfeld, and he said, "Let me check that out." And he did, "Here Comes the Men in Black, Galaxy Defenders." He wasn't trying to be street. He went back to that audience that bought Fresh Prince, but he changed it to Will Smith. And that's why he sold 60 million records. People, and remember, he was going out and promoting his movies and doing concerts at the movie premieres.
Right. You got double bang for your buck.
So he flipped the whole script on everybody.
Right, and that's why he's the biggest of all time. He's the biggest.
That's why he's where he's at.
He's the biggest transitional artist. He's the biggest
He's
transitional artist from Cube, LL Cool J, Most Def, everybody that went from hip hop, and even my boy from Fast and Furious. You know what I'm talking about. Ludacris, yes, all of them.
Ludacris, yeah.
All of them. None of them can fade.
Will, what people didn't realize, Will, with just the two of us getting jiggy with it, the Men in Black soundtracks, Wild Wild West, we'll just
Wild Wild West.
That people wish to do, but then he ignored, "I'm not black enough," but yet he still kept getting that, and he kept saying, "Why can't I make records? Why can't I do this?"
Well, see. Here's something I can see how that could annoy somebody though, Dre. Take this for a minute, man. You doing all this, kicking all this ass, and the people that you want to love you the most don't love you the way everybody else does. It's the same thing with him and Jada. Wait. It's the same thing with him and Jada. Okay, you doing all this shit. You got the big house, the cars, the movie, the blah blah blah, and you still can't knock this spot out of her heart for Tupac. It's the same thing. It's one is business, one is personal. It's the same damn thing. No matter what you do,
it's rejection. He feel rejected.
You got some people that love you, of course, but you should be getting more love from your own people. But you got a certain sector of your own race, your own group that feels you too soft and they ain't fucking with you. Now they dance to your shit, but they ain't gonna buy. Niggas gonna buy the bootleg, okay? But meanwhile, they talking about
was his mistake, and that's what I'm saying. During that period of time, I was there to keep it real. We're going to do this. We're going to make sure everybody knows you can't do this. And that's soft. And that's this. And that's that.
Right.
He didn't realize which rock and roll ran through. If you look through the history of rock and roll, look at the history of Motown, Stax, we always get to that nonsense. Where no one said, "Dude, look at your audience that you're doing." And I say this when it comes to Ed and I and T-Money. Yo MTV Raps Today was a white TV show with black people. It was. Our audience was white people.
Wow.
But when you went on cable and black folks discovered it, it was like, wait a minute. It's us. Here's our culture. They're playing our culture. But we changed the attitude and ideology of young white kids to accept rap music and then hip hop.
Dre, time to go, Doc.
They knew Heavy D as well as they knew Ice Cube, as well as they loved Hammer, and they didn't differentiate it like that.
Dre, time to go.
We as black folks did that.
Dre, time to go. Calm down.
Dr. Dre.
Can I say one quick shout out?
Hurry up. We got
Big shout out to
30
my
seconds.
girl, Grace the Stallion at Power 104.9 in Atlanta. Congratulations on the morning show. and the station manager, Revy, my man. I was on the show this morning, and I told her I would give her a big shout out down in Atlanta. So Atlanta, don't forget to send Grace some breakfast in the morning. She got some Bojangles, but she needs to get some more stuff.
All right, folks. Look, you are live with Lonzo, the Godfather, West Coast hip hop, and the Dre, the main player in the East Coast. And together we are the legendary connects from the East Coast to the West Coast. We doing the most, folks. Yes. I'm writing a new rhyme, okay? From the West Coast to the West Coast to the East Coast, we doing the most, folks. That's my new rhyme. All right, folks. Bernadette, thank you, Donna, for keeping the chat room alive. Everybody in the chat room, thank you very much for tuning in. This is Legendary Connect with your boy Lonzo and Dr. Dre representing the East Coast, folks. Two old school players with a girl in the middle, keeping it live for y'all, folks. Next Thursday, we're gonna now that we got our technical thing together, we're gonna start bringing some guests in, folks. Keep watching. Check us out at go over to my other channel, y'all, Legendary Connects, and click the like button and subscribe, because at some point in time, I'm gonna cut N.W.A off, and I'm going to stay with Industry Connect for this show right here, folks. In the meantime, we're out of here, y'all. Peace.
Bye.